Hello everyone, welcome back to Dean's N-Scale Trains. If you love model railroading, as I do, or you're just curious about how to build an N-scale layout, you're in the right place. I'm Dean, and I'm here to help you get the most out of your N-scale layout. Today's video is all about wiring, specifically the two main ways to power your train: the old direct current method, which has been around forever, or the more modern DCC, digital command control method, which came around probably 30 years ago. I'll break down what makes each one different, show you some simple wiring diagrams for both, and talk about why you might want to choose one or the other for your own railroad. Then I'll walk you through how I wired my L-shaped Santa Fe Northern Railroad, and I'll share some tips and lessons I've learned along the way with photos and a track wiring diagram. I'll also show you how and the system I use to connect similar or different sized wires together. Whether you're just starting out or looking to upgrade your system, you'll find some useful information here. So hit the subscribe button and let's look further into the world of model railroad wiring. Let's make your trains run smooth and your layout come to life. So let's start simple. Here's an oval layout with one siding. Say you got this for Christmas. You put it together and you want to wire it up, get your trains running. Although this is a very simple layout, the concepts I'm going to talk about will work for any size layout. So your simple layout package probably came with a power supply. It has two wires and maybe even a track to connect it to with screw terminals on the track. So you wire it up, put your engine on the track, turn it on, and voila, you're running a train round and round in circles. You can speed it up, slow it down, reverse it, do whatever you want. It's very, very nice. And as I'll talk about later, the simple wiring will also work if you're using a DCC, digital command control power supply. But now you have a problem. When the train gets to the other side away from the power supply, it's slowing down a bit. That's due to the resistance of the track. It's cutting down the voltage that gets to the other side. So now you have to go to something called a bus system. Here, the bus are two heavy wires shown by the black and red bold wires, thick wires, that you run around this, close to the track around the entire layout. Then you run short feeder wires, shown here by black and red thinner lines, to each of the track, to each side of the track. Note that the red ones always connect to the same sides of the track and the black ones always connect to the other side of the track. If you don't do this, you run into problems with shorts. So it's Christmas again and your wife gives you another locomotive. You want to run both at the same time on the layout. What to do? You have to use a block wiring system which divides your layout into electrically isolated sections or blocks, each of which can be powered independently. By using two DC power packs or throttles, you can assign control of each block to either power pack, allowing two trains to operate simultaneously without interfering with each other. What you'll need: two DC power packs, as I've shown here, several single pole double throw switches, one for each block. Here's a photo of it. Insulated rail joiners or gaps to isolate blocks. I've indicated these with green circles, which divide this layout into 5 blocks. Some more wiring, and you have to run feeder wires from each block to its own single pole double throw switch. Each switch acts as a selector. It chooses from either power pack to control that block. The problem with using this with a DC system is you spend more time throwing switches than running trains. It's very complicated and mistakes cause problems. So it's back to the DCC system. Here we can have, for a simple layout, we can use just 2 wires and wire them to one position. Or you can set up a bus wiring system, as I did. I'll talk about that later. A DCC system can be tremendously versatile. On mine, which comes from Bachmann, I can run 2 or more trains simultaneously. I set up one with its speed, then switch to another channel for another locomotive and set it up. I can go back and forth to change either one whenever I want to. So now I want to continue by telling you how I wired my Santa Fe Northern layout. Here's a wiring diagram for the Santa Fe Northern. The broad red line shows where the 2 bus lines run. These are 16 gauge, 1 black and 1 red wire. The thin blue lines are feeder wires going from the rails to the bus lines. Later I'll show you a series of photos that show you how I wired up this system. I used Tycon connectors that I've talked about in earlier videos. These are basically shrink tubing with a blob of solder in the middle that melts to solder the wires together as you heat it up. I 3D printed a bunch of these black pieces. These were glued to the foam as needed using hot glue, and then the wires were tied down with zip ties, like as indicated. For the rest of this video, I'm going to show you photos of how I put things together, how I wired things up. Each photo has a map with an arrow that shows where the photo was taken. Here I put a 2 amp fuse in an automobile fuse holder in line with each bus line. My DCC controller protects against shorts. However, just in case that fails, this is the last level of protection. Wires run back from one side of the fuses to the power supply. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Dean's N-Scale Trains. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.